In this section of the course, we're going to talk about audits and assessments. Audits and assessments play an important role in ensuring the robustness and reliability of organizations' security and infrastructure. These processes are the key to identifying vulnerabilities, validating security measures, and maintaining compliance with regulatory standards. First, we have audits. Audits are a systematic evaluation of organizational information systems, applications, and security controls to ascertain their efficiency and effectiveness. They are typically conducted by an independent entity to provide an unbiased view of the organization's security posture. Now, audits can be an internal or external, depending on the source of the audit. Now, internal audits are conducted by the organization's own audit team, while external audits are performed by third-party entities. An example of an internal audit would be an organization's internal audit team conducting a review of the company's data protection policy. They will check whether the policies are up to date, comprehensive, and in line with the latest regulatory requirements. They also verify if these policies are being followed correctly by all employees. An example of an external audit would be a third-party auditor being hired to evaluate an e-commerce company's compliance with PCI-DSS or payment card industry data security standard. The auditor checks the company's network security, data encryption methods, and access control mechanisms to ensure that credit card information is being handled securely. Audits are crucial for identifying gaps in security policies, procedures, and controls. They also help in ensuring compliance with various regulatory standards like the General Data Protection or GDPR, Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act or HIPAA, and the Payment Card Industry Data Security Standard or PCI-DSS. Second, we have assessments. Assessments are about performing a detailed analysis of a security organization's systems to identify vulnerabilities and risks. They're often performed before implementing any new system or making significant changes to an existing one. The goal of assessment is to understand the potential risks and threats to an organization's information system and propose mitigation strategies to address these vulnerabilities. Assessments can be categorized into risk assessments, vulnerability assessments, and threat assessments. Each type of these assessments focuses on a different aspect of security and provides valuable insight to help strengthen the organization's security posture. So, in this section of the course, we will be focusing solely on Domain 5, specifically Objective 5.5, which states that you must be able to explain types and purposes of audits and assessments. First off, again, we'll cover internal audits and assessments. Internal audits and assessments are evaluations conducted within an organization to review its processes, controls, and compliance to ensure operational effectiveness and adherence to internal policies. Then we're going to jump right into the demo on how to perform an internal assessment so that we can show you how to review an organization's processes, controls, and compliance within its internal policies. After that, we're going to talk about external audits and assessments. External audits and assessments are independent evaluations performed by external parties to verify an organization's financial statements, compliance, and operational practices against established standards and regulations. Then we're going to go back to another demo and perform an external assessment so that you can see how a third party or independent auditor or assessor can review the organization's security posture. Following that, we're going to discuss penetration testing. Now, penetration testing, often referred to as a pen test or ethical hacking, is a simulated cyber attack against a computer system, network, or web application to identify vulnerabilities that could be exploited by attackers. Then we'll take a look at reconnaissance and pen testing. In this lesson, we're going to discuss the need for reconnaissance based on the type of pen test and the environment, including known environments, partially known environments, unknown environments, and we're also going to discuss different types of reconnaissance, which are passive and active. Next, we will dive into a quick demo showing how to perform a basic pen test by using tools like Nmap and Metasploit to scan the network for a vulnerable machine, and then how to exploit that vulnerability to gain full administrative access over the targeted machine. After that, we will cover attestation of findings. Now, attestations of findings is a formal written declaration or confirmation of the results or outcomes of an audit or assessment. And finally, we're going to take a short quiz just to see what you learned during this section of the course and review each of those quiz questions fully to ensure that you can explain why the right answers were right. So let's dive into our coverage of audits and assessments in this section of the course.